Destination?
Raise awaiting launch orders.
Yes, sir.
Standing by.
Identify target.
Go ahead.
Orders, sir. Ready to roll out. Proceeding.
Give me somebody standing by. Rock and roll.
I'm in deep.
Raise awaiting launch orders.
Moving. Yes, sir. Orders identified. Ready to roll out. Destination?
Mineral field completed. Insufficient vessel. Mineral field completed.
Raise awaiting launch orders. Coordinates received.
Identify target.
Base is under attack.
Moving. Yes, sir. Destination? Identify orders, sir. Yes, sir. Latitude, sir. Order destination. Identify target. Orders, sir. I'll give it my best shot.
Go ahead, Western. Roger.
Destination, yes, sir. Got no patience for sitting around. Proceeding. Absolutely. Identify target.
Commander.
Move it. Destination. Identify target. Proceeding.
Upgrade complete.
Latitude.
Reporting in. Standing transmit coordinates. Sector locked in. Go ahead. Standing transmit. Go ahead. Reporting.
Mineral field depleted.
Roger.
Orders, sir. Destination. Moving. Identify target.
Standing by.
Yes, sir. Destination. Identify. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Orders, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. I read you. Reporting for duty.
Transmit coordinates.
Orders, Captain. Reporting for duty. Right away, sir.
Whoa, they're all over me.
Go ahead. Standing by.
I read you.
Reporting in.
Yes, sir. Move it.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Roger that. Orders received. Orders, Captain. Affirmative. Right away, sir.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
Yes, sir. Orders received. Reporting for duty. I read you. Roger that. Orders, Captain?
Not enough minerals.
Right away, sir. Reporting for duty. I read you. Affirmative. Orders received. What? Reporting for duty.
Not enough minerals.
Standing by. Reporting in. Standing by. Vector locked in. Roger. Reporting in. SCP good to go, sir. Yes, sir. I read you. Yes, sir. Roger that.
Not enough minerals.
Orders, Captain. Orders received.
Base is under attack.
We could use some help here.
Report for duty. SCV good to go, sir.
Whoa, they're all over me.
Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting in.
Destination? Absolutely. What's our target?
I read you.
Lay it on me.
Standing by.
Not enough minerals.
Orders, Captain. SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. Affirmative. SCV good to go, sir.
Die was cast sort of many years ago. But when there are negative things that occur,
Someone to shoot.
it's usually nothing I've thought of. Usually nothing I've thought of. Just kind of popped in out of nowhere, and
SCV good to
I
go,
wasn't
sir.
anticipating it and so on, right?
Go ahead, Commander.
And I'll tell you this, man, like, this is, sorry to wreck your perception of the passage of time, particularly if you're younger, but this seems to be kind of true. This seems to be kind of true. There are phases in your life where there's bad news all the time.
Orders,
It's
sir.
tough, man.
Ready to roll out.
Reporting
It's
for
tough.
duty.
There are phases in your life
I read you.
where there's just going to be bad news
Yes, sir.
on a pretty continual basis. Whether it's about yourself, whether it's about your parents, whether it's about your friends' parents, mid to late 50s in particular,
Base is under attack.
and the hits just keep on coming.
Jacked up and
It's just lots of bad news because, you know, people's bad health decisions are catching up with them in their late 50s, and or just bad luck, but in general it's bad choices, lifestyle choices, or not managing stress choices and so on. But people's, you know, when you're in your late 50s and you had your parents were 25, and then they're in their 80s,
Not
and
enough minerals.
it's certainly if you really don't stay heartily robust, and even those who do, sometimes you just get bad luck. But if you don't stay heartily robust, you know, exercise, eat well, stay strong, your 50s are gonna suck because
Destination? Well,
everybody who's older is just getting torn apart by time. It's just horrible.
absolutely. Ready to roll
I'm sort of in that phase.
out. Target.
I'm in that phase where just
Move
the bad news, the friends and family, just keeps coming, and some of it's pretty grim, man. Some of it is pretty grim.
Sir, destination, identify target.
I mean, I'm fine. Other than I had, this conjunctivitis that mimicked I didn't even know. Conjunctivitis that could mimic a flu. I didn't even know such demons existed. All right, let's get to your comments. All right. I wear bow ties sometimes in reference to Jeffrey Tucker's positivity. He is a merry old soul. Pressure on me to go back down to live on disability. I want to work, he says, does not mean employers want to hire. I have several real strikes against me. Spirit and mind willing, body not so much. It's complicated and wages being driven down and government will eventually be bankrupt, hence MAID. Nasty trap. I would settle for working full-time at about $10 an hour above minimum wage at this point, stuck at fighting for $1 better. I'm sorry about that. That's very tough. That's very tough. You know, and this is not relative to you because these are sort of Tucker cucked on IQ. Yeah, but I mean, who didn't, right? Who didn't? So, this is not specific to you, but this is general advice from somebody who's had a positive and healthy relationship with occasional paranoia. Don't stay out of relationships. Don't get too isolated. Don't get too comfortable being alone. And don't get comfortable with not working and being productive. And I say this as, I mean, a guy who dated a fair amount when I was younger. If I was talking to a woman and she's like, oh, I haven't been in a relationship in like 8 years, I'd be like, well, you ain't about to be in one now as a whole, because, I mean, unless she did therapy, self-work, and so on, because it'd be like, okay, so you're comfortable without being in a relationship and you have no skills. So when I was I always viewed dating as like an interview, right? So when I was interviewing for the position of girlfriend, wife, mother of my children, I'm looking for experience. You know, like if I was a hiring manager and someone said, I want a job, and I said, well, when was your last job? And they said, well, 8 years ago. I'd be like, so you got really used to being lazy. You got really used to not working. You are out of shape. You are out of work. It'd be like if you were hiring for some athletic team and they said, well, when did you last play this sport? Well, 8 years ago. Or when did you last exercise? Well, 8 years ago. I was like, well, you know, you're just going to get injured. Like, stay active. Stay active in work. It doesn't matter how bad it is. And stay active in relationships. You would not believe how easy it is to lose your skills.
Attack formation. Vector locked in. Attack formation.
And whatever you don't build,
Vector locked
every muscle you don't exercise atrophies like that. It's amazing. Because I view the brain, it's just my opinion, I don't know if there's truth behind it, but I view the brain as relentlessly efficient. Oh, are we not using this? Erased. You know, like I got fairly good at the language French because I had to be tested in an exam on my French translation abilities to get my graduate degree in the history of philosophy from the University of Toronto. So I took a lot of French courses. I practiced like crazy, learning how to translate French, and I became fairly good at French. And then what? Gone. I did 10 years of violin, mostly. Gone. Right? So the brain is always pruning. It's always pruning, man. It's all, oh, we're not using this? Done, man. It's just the brain does not hoard. The brain cleans. The brain fire hoses things out. The brain sets fire to that which is unused. The brain flushes on a continual basis. It is constantly stripping down and paring down. And you can think of things. I mean, obviously riding a bike, there's certain things like that are, if it goes into the body, that's a different matter because there's muscle memory, there's body memory, and so on, right? But the brain is constantly discarding. So the way that I kind of view it and I think this is really, really important for you guys as well. The way that I view it is, it's like I live with this obsessive roommate who's constantly throwing things out. And he doesn't really care what he throws out. He just, if it's out and in the way and it doesn't seem to be in use, he's going to throw it out. Right? So I can't leave my wallet out for a couple of days. He's going to throw it out. Right? I can't leave my shirt, even if it's folded, anywhere outside of my closet, because he's going to throw it out. So I view the brain as it's just constantly throwing out, flushing out, discarding, and dumping. Constantly doing that. And you don't want it to do that with your wallet or your balls. You don't want it to do that with your job and your capacity to have a romantic relationship. Or even a friendship, right? It's just constantly discarding. And what you don't want it to discard is your capacity to relate to people and to make money.
Right away, sir. Orders, Captain? Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Sepanta, nice to see you, my friend. The whole reason I got into philosophy outside of high school was to use philosophy to seem smart to dumb people. Thankfully, actual philosophy cured me of that desire. And thank you for that, Steph. I couldn't imagine who I'd be if I'd pursued government school, quote, philosophy here.
Base is under attack.
John says, thank you for your opposition to weed, Steph. 7.5 years off weed, largely thanks to your show. I appreciate that. I once tried a sip of a mixed drink at 18. Never since. Milo makes wine drinking so fun, but he behaves kind of bratty, just in a comedic genius kind of way. Yeah, he's Loki, right? Drinking is so bad, man. I find it great as a treat once every few months, but nothing more.
They're all over me.
Thank you for your subscription, more son. I appreciate that. Caffeine? No, caffeine's not a drug. Not everything is a drug. Food is a drug, man. You know, you feel really uncomfortable if you don't breathe, so air is a drug too, man. Neurological issues suck bad enough sober. Last thing I need is intoxicants to make it worse. End of that. Andrew Hubermans, Stanford neurologist. And suspicious Giga Chad. Main criticism of alcohol was that it makes you neglect long-term goals and planning. You're essentially managing minute to minute, so to speak. Well, is that alcohol or alcoholism? He promotes nicotine in safer delivery form. An FDR Locals user wrote an article about how a man consuming alcohol 6 months before conception could lead to fetal alcohol syndrome. Really? Any opinion on nicotine, Steph? Smoking, patches, lozenges, and lip pouches? Well, I mean, obviously the chewing tobacco and the smoking is bad for you as a whole, but nicotine can be a great productivity enhancer. Very good for creativity, from what I've heard.
Yes, sir.
You ever notice if you run big ideas to someone who smells like alcohol or is a frequent drinker, she will have serious doubts in your abilities? They're revealing to you that they themselves can't goal sweat and plan ahead. Why would you share ideas with someone who smells like alcohol? Why would you have a frequent drinker you talk to at all? Frequent drinkers will fuck you up and suck you down, man. They really will. There is a nihilism and a self-hatred at the core of alcoholism that is like a neutron bomb. The buildings are left standing, but all the people are nuclear shadows. It reminds me of those fraudulent TikTokers who pretend they eat 20 donuts and have 7% body fat. Somebody says, the prisoner says, I stopped drinking alcohol February 2004. I'm now 21 years sober. Good for you. I haven't had even a single glass of wine or one beer and never will again. I watched my mother, father, aunt, and grandfather destroy themselves with alcohol. My father died of liver failure and alcohol-induced dementia. He was 66 years old. He drank beer until the very day he died. Oh, bro was locked in. Bro was locked in. All right. Other comments? It's humbling to think
Base is under attack.
about that most of what you worry about never happens, and most of what happens is bad for you, you never saw coming. I agree with that. However, it is really important to remember that the things you worry about that don't happen, some of them don't happen because you worry about them, right? So it's sort of like somebody who's like a heavy smoker and then they quit because they're like, man,
Receiving incoming transmission.
Lieutenant, by edict of Confederate High Command, all matters regarding these xenomorphs are under Class 7 seal. Do not speak of the existence of the xenomorphs, or in any way relay the events surrounding their appearance on Chao Sara. Failure to comply with these orders will result in immediate termination. This conversation never took place. We were never here.